important, by 6 a.m. tomorrow, unless something significant occurs, we will complete the investigation as it relates to the origins of the fire. As I said, the teams quite literally are on the site right now. The structural work is being done concurrently, but they'll get in once that investigation is completely closed, more forcefully to make a deeper assessment. The hazmat problems are real, and as a consequence, we're taking that seriously as it relates to debris removal before our contracting crews get in. Let's make a couple things clear. This is one of those heaven and earth moments. As the mayor rightfully said, this is a 24/7 operation, period, full stop. We are deeply mindful of Northridge 1994, deeply mindful of the contracting strategies there. Invariably, you'll ask, will you consider contracts that provide incentives? That's being determined in real time. What will those incentives be? That's being determined in real time. What are the economic consequences of this, the impacts? That's being determined in real time. You'll recall the bonuses that were assessed in Northridge were on the basis day in and day out of the daily economic costs to the region. We can certainly assess they'll be substantially greater than they were in 1994. 300,000+ vehicles go through this corridor every single day. It's of significant consequence to the economy, to the health and safety of Angelenos, the impact to our schools, to vulnerable communities. All of that we take very seriously, and we're sober and mindful of the urgency to get this open. It's safety first, it's speed second. The contracting issues are not an issue any longer. That state of emergency waives any consideration in that space for the short run. We already have a contract secured. They're on site, the hazmat contract. It also includes some security. It also includes some traffic mitigation. They're already contracted. They're already on site. The ability now with the state of emergency to work hand in glove with the Federal Highway Administration also is been advanced. And I want to thank, as the mayor did, Secretary Buttigieg, the White House for reaching out. As you know, the President of the United States will be in California within 48 hours. That's encouraging as well. The White House has appropriately taken this as seriously as it needs to be taken because of the economic consequences and the size and scope and scale of this incident. As it relates to size, scope, and scale, we're also not naive. A more contemporary example of the I-95 in Philadelphia, the great work that was done by my friend Governor Shapiro and the building constructions unions and others that were hand in glove in that operation. Again, another 24/7 operation. We're mindful of the best practices that were advanced in that effort, and we will be advancing similar best practices as it relates to our efforts here, informed by their experience. But I will say this, that is different. I won't say it's daylight and darkness, but don't compare the two. The scale of this is substantially greater. The question is the damage substantially more problematic, again, being assessed in real time. So there are no rules and regulations that are hindrances to moving this operation forward. There will be none. Contracts are already in place, and let me double down on that. As a proof point, we've already identified 2 million pounds of steel that is available to move in real time. So the supply chain issue specific to steel is not an impediment in the short term. We're already assessing the broader supply chain questions, again, in a worst case scenario as it relates to this incident. And finally, on the incident itself, I am here with this site. Some of you may know that as well because you were with us when we did a large-scale encampment cleanup right on this site in August of last year. I personally participated in that. It was not a press conference. We were there actually doing the work of cleaning up this site. Thousands of sites across this state in the last year and a half have been prioritized with Caltrans. I am very mindful of the thousands that remain to be cleaned up all across this state. But as you know well from the multiple times we've been down here, we invested $750 million in partnership with the legislative leaders here on encampment cleanup grants. working with the cities and counties and taking direct responsibility with Caltrans. And they've been hitting and exceeding their numeric goals. We have a lot more work to do. That said, I'm mindful of the encampments in and around that site we cleaned up, and also mindful of those broader concerns around who is leasing these sites, and are they being monitored? Are they being held accountable? And the answer specifically on this site is yes. In fact, we're in litigation with the lessee. In fact, our inspectors have been out there on a consistent basis with citations. Their lease is expired, they're in arrears. We believe they've been subleasing the space, and we actually have a court date in early part of the new calendar year. More on that, because I imagine you'll be drawing down with more interest in that. More on that, and we will make it available in real time. But again, in a litigation posture, I want to be careful. But this is a site we're aware of, and this was a lessee that we're aware of that was in violation. The issues around encampments in this area, again, for over a year have been focused of a priority, recognizing there's still a lot of work in and around that area to address other encampments, large and small. So again, across the spectrum, top priority, all of government approach, nothing more important, period, full stop. Let me make this crystal clear. Nothing more important for our administration, our collective administrations, and nothing, no daylight whatsoever is separating Mayor Bass and her team from our team. The answer is yes. I don't even care what the question is. The answer is yes, in terms of what her needs are, what the county needs are, and I have all the confidence in the world, because this is not our first challenge, as the mayor rightfully posed, that the White House approach will be consistent with that as well. So 24/7, 7 days a week until this gets done, but please, please give us the opportunity to get this investigation done, which will be done by 6 a.m. tomorrow morning, potentially earlier. As soon as it is, we will announce whatever appropriately can be announced under the circumstances. We will provide you in real time more information on the lessee and the investigations and the litigation posture, and we will let you know more about the emergency contracts and let you know more about the contracting provisions that we will advance in the medium and long term. And yes, you'll be told on a consistent basis by a team of experts the routes, the rerouting, and the logistical challenges in this city and around the region. But again, I couldn't be more pleased to be here again with you, Madam Mayor, and our confidence is high in our capacity to deliver on the expectation and address the anxiety of millions and millions that live in this region. With that, we're here to answer any questions.
Governor.